Ever heard of a battle that kept going even after the war was officially over? Let's dive into the bizarre and tragic story of the Courland Pocket, a forgotten chapter of World War II. In late 1944, the Soviet Red Army's powerful offensive swept across the Baltics, pushing the German forces back. But in the Courland Peninsula of Latvia, something strange happened. Instead of retreating, nearly 200,000 soldiers of Army Group Courland found themselves completely cut off, encircled by the Soviets with their backs to the Baltic Sea. They were trapped. From a strategic standpoint, their situation was hopeless. Any sensible commander would have ordered an evacuation. But from his headquarters hundreds of miles away, Hitler forbade any retreat. He insisted the Courland Pocket be held at all costs, perhaps imagining it as a future springboard for an attack that would never come. So, the soldiers were ordered to fight on. Life inside the pocket was a living nightmare. Under constant artillery bombardment and air attacks, the trapped German and Latvian soldiers faced dwindling supplies. Food, ammunition, and medical equipment became dangerously scarce. They weren't just fighting the enemy, they were fighting starvation and despair, sharing their grim fate with the local Latvian civilians caught in the crossfire. Between October 1944 and May 1945, the Soviets launched 6 major offensives to crush the pocket. Each one was met with ferocious resistance, and each one failed to break the German lines. The fighting was brutal and resulted in massive casualties on both sides. However, the Soviets eventually decided to shift their main focus toward the ultimate prize: Berlin. They left enough forces to keep the pocket contained, essentially letting it rot on the vine. The news of Germany's surrender and the end of the war in Europe on May 8th eventually reached the isolated troops. But their war wasn't over. It wasn't until May 10th that the command in Courland officially surrendered. Nearly 200,000 men laid down their arms, not as soldiers of a defeated army, but as survivors of a siege that had outlasted the war itself. For most, surrender didn't mean going home. The vast majority were marched off to Soviet gulags, and only a small fraction would ever see their homes again. The Courland Pocket is a haunting story that rarely makes it into the mainstream history books. It stands as a stark testament to the futility of war, the stubbornness of leadership, and the countless lives wasted for a cause that was already lost. It was a siege that, for its soldiers, seemed like it would never end. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of forgotten history interesting, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories from the past. See you next time.